welcome to From the Coffee Shop podcast. My name is Rick Entrop.
I'm Scott Clark.
I'm Peggy Hurson.
And we are coming to you from Oddfellows in Capitol Hill, and the date is December 8th,
December 8th,
2013. Yeah.
Yeah,
and
this place is really, really cute.
Yeah.
I've never been here, even though I live very close, and my boxing studio is right around the corner.
Oh,
from
cool.
here.
Nice.
Yeah.
It
it's
is
really
definitely
cool.
19. It feels like we step back in time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah,
Totally.
sort of that.
1930s.
Yeah, what was it? The Farrell's in. Remember Farrell's at Columbia Center? He was probably before your
No.
time.
Oh, wait.
But it's like the ice cream parlor
shop?
kind of
Yes.
shop place.
Yeah,
that's
that's at the zoo.
Yeah.
If you
huh.
can eat the zoo, you got it for free.
Oh, weird.
Oh,
I
cool.
don't remember that. I do
Huh.
remember Farrell's, though, and then it closed, and I was so sad.
They'd bring it out. They'd have
Yeah.
2 sticks, and the thing would be in the,
Yeah,
like an arc,
Oh,
an
weird.
arc of ice cream.
Yeah, but like that, late 1800s sort of
Yeah.
flavor, where photography was really new and everything was brown.
Yep. This place has like a bunch of exposed brick and really fantastic windows, and
Yeah.
everything's wood, and it's really cute. And they have
Yeah.
decent coffee. I'm just getting like the diner style mug of drip coffee, and it's pretty good.
Yeah.
How's you got a Mexican mocha, right?
I did, and it's almost, it's right up there with the station.
Oh,
nice.
nice,
Yeah,
cool.
it's-
Yeah, I don't know. They mentioned what coffee they serve or what kind. It was some
Okay, I
organic kind of.
This is actually spicier than the one at the station.
Oh.
And I actually just got a recommendation from my friend Rachel last night
Yeah.
of another place near her house that we have to go to soon.
Oh, cool.
That she said has the best Mexican mochas in town.
Okay.
Ooh, nice.
So because
Right on.
we were talking about the podcast last night. I was out with my friend Rachel and her sister Hannah, who's in town for. It's really funny. Hannah lives in Albuquerque. She's in the Air Force.
Okay.
And she's in town for 12 hours because she was this close to getting the status on her frequent flyer miles
Yeah.
to have all the extras.
Ooh.
And so she did a 3-leg trip to Seattle, had
Nice.
dinner with us, hung out, and then this morning at 6 a.m. got on another 3-leg because she needed 6 legs to get status.
Is that the million-mile mark or something like that?
Yeah, it's one of the ones where
Wow.
she gets like automatic upgrades, priority
Nice.
seating, like the whole 9 yards. And she was like that close, and she was like, I'm going to have dinner with my
Nice.
sister
There
and
you
get
go.
those
Cool.
miles. So anyway, so we were talking about the podcast, and Rachel was like, oh, if you like Mexican mochas, because she asked like
Right.
what places we liked, and I was like, well,
Sure.
there's this one place.
Yeah.
The station that
We
had
should have
awesome
the
mochas.
Mexican mocha challenge.
Yeah.
Who does it best?
Totally.
Yeah,
We
that'd
have
be
to
really
wait till
cool.
I'm eating carbs again because I want to join.
I unfortunately would not be a very good judge because I can't have coffee.
Well, you can do the Mexican hot
Uh,
chocolate though.
There we go.
True.
Yeah, which the hot chocolate that I did get was kind of weak.
Oh, that's
I
too
must say,
bad.
but though I like a little more on the sweeter end of hot chocolate.
Yeah.
So
I like the thick hot chocolate
Yeah.
that's like the Starbucks kind, really,
Yeah.
where
Yeah.
it's just like melted Hershey
well,
bars.
like when I make it at home, I take like 3 packets.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
a little bit more water, but still
Uh-huh.
3 packets
Oh, hell yeah.
and tons
You
of extra
stand- almost
marshmallows.
stand a spoon
You
in
get
it.
you get those
Uh-huh.
baby fist marshmallow
Yeah.
things.
Totally.
The size of baby fingers.
yeah.
I like the baby fingers.
The baby
Nice.
fingers. Oh, the mini ones.
Yeah.
Right on.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry.
Cool. So yeah, I guess I didn't have too much of an agenda really today. I guess first off, I'm working at UPS, as hopefully if you've tuned into the podcast, you're aware of. So
Yes.
I got to go to bed at 1 in the afternoon today at least.
That
So I got to get up at
sucks.
9:30 tonight for a 10:30 start time at UPS. So.
And you were saying to me that like you start at 10:30 and you go until you're done, so it could
Right,
be
it could be until
noon
9.
tomorrow.
Well, I guess technically it could be noon tomorrow,
Yeah.
but 9 is when
Okay.
they shoot to get the trucks out. So
Okay.
How does that affect your
Nice.
other job? Does that really have a bad
they
effect?
know it's peak season, so
Okay.
I've given them plenty of,
Right on.
of time. Fortunately, with the other job, we're pretty light right now, so
Oh, okay, yeah, it's just
That's
slow season.
nice.
yeah, it's sort of handy that way. I think
Yeah.
they've got a gal in reserve that they could call if it came to crunch time, but
Yeah.
You were
mainly, yeah, it's not really going to interrupt. It's like I won't be working at UPS, so I can't work at the other job. It's I need to get home in time to get enough sleep to get to my next job,
Well,
Yeah.
good
kind of
for
thing.
you
So
for sleeping at 9 o'clock
Yeah.
because my was it my freshman year in college?
Yeah.
No, my sophomore year, but it was the first year I was at CBC. Because my freshman year in college, I went away to Rick's College in Idaho, which is now BYU Idaho.
Yeah.
And then I moved home the second year to sing with Freeform.
Yeah.
And then, no, this actually, now, see, I have a terrible memory, and so my life, like, I'm like, wait, when was I doing this? It was actually the year after my mission.
Okay.
When I moved home and our parents went off on a mission. Like, I served a mission for our
right.
church and came home, and then they served a mission, and I was living in the house with roommates, which was so fun.
Whoa.
That sounds
That
fun.
might have been fun.
Yeah, you were in Seattle, I think, at that point, because you were with Alex. I think you guys had moved to Seattle already.
Right.
So I thought I was singing with Freeform.
This was like right before they sold the house, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly. I was singing with this jazz group, Freeform, at the community college, and you know, it's this super fun thing. And I was doing the drama department and in all these plays, and I was going to school. And so I was like, I need a job, but I need one that does not ever work at night because I'm always at play rehearsal or whatever.
Right.
And so I took a job at Target unloading boxes from 3 a.m. to 10 a.m. Like 3 days a week.
Okay.
And I thought that's perfect because my first class could be at noon. I will never have to miss work because of something I want to do that's fun.
Except that you have to go to bed at 9 at night at least.
Right.
If it's 9, I'm like, I'm killing myself.
Totally.
There's no way. I start going to bed about 6. It's like, I would love to be able to go to bed at 6 every night. Because then that gives me about 8 hours of sleep.
To like wind down, Well, and so then what ended up happening was that, because it was Monday, it was like Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday was usually my schedule.
Oh,
and
weird.
so like
Wow.
I would get to sleep at an okay time on Monday. Like I'd get like 6 hours of sleep and then go to work. Tuesday and then Wednesday was always the trouble where people would be over, we'd be doing fun stuff, and then I'd always be looking at the clock going, if I go to bed right now, I have
down.
6 hours.
Yep.
And then I would just stay up all night, go to work on no sleep, because if you go to bed at like 1 o'clock, you're screwed.
Right.
Yeah.
And then get home from work, and then the next night go to sleep at like 5:30 because I'm exhausted. And so then for a year, I was basically sleeping every other day.
Yeah. I couldn't do that. I gotta sleep every night. There's no way I could go into work and not sleep.
I was totally miserable. And the only way I survived was I was only like 23, and so I was relatively young.
Youth was on your side,
but it was the worst year. I was always tired the entire year. Never stopped being tired.
I did a graveyard shift for 10 months one time, and it was like I'd get on the schedule like right around Wednesday. I would start falling in line where I'd get enough sleep. But the weekend would come. Friday night, I would not sleep until Sunday, almost or Saturday night, like when I get off work Friday morning, and by Monday I'd be right back to the daytime schedule because everybody's awake. You know, it's like, how do you say? And I can't. I need things blacked out. I'm a totally in the dark
the
sleeper.
summertime is the worst when it's light until like 9:30 at night and warm. Like this, it's perfect. I love working in the cold because I don't sweat near as much, and I love that it gets dark when I need to go to bed.
Yeah, totally.
Well,
and I also worked swing, I think they call it, 4 to 12.
Yeah.
That's because graveyard's like 11 to morning, right? But swing is the afternoon, evening.
That's the loneliest shift you can work.
It totally is.
But however, I liked it because I got lots of sleep.
Good.
And I was more productive in the house. Like I seemed to be able to get things done. Because it's like when everybody's working, you have all this free time and space.
Oh, I wish I only had to do UPS and that was it, but doesn't quite get everything paid.
Yeah, when I was working, it was when I worked for Star Trek, The Experience in Las Vegas. I was turning people into Borg and Ferengi and sewing Star Trek costumes.
Oh, yeah.
To this day, the coolest job I've ever had. But I left work when my roommates were at work, and then I'd get off work at 12:30, and I can't just go home and go to sleep wide awake and in Las Vegas. So I started hanging out, with the other people who worked at Star Trek, and we'd all, go out and grab lunch. We'd go like lunch at 1 a.m., but it's Las Vegas,
Oh
so
yeah,
you can.
yeah, it's all normal.
And then go to
yeah.
the movies. We'd go to the movies at
That's
like 4
Probably
o'clock
the
in the
best city
morning.
to live in
Nice.
on that
Yeah.
schedule because
But it made my world shrink to where the only people I interacted with were the other people on that schedule.
Okay.
And then my roommates, I'd get home at like 5 a.m. and crash, and then they would get up and go to work and have their day. And so our awake times were completely opposite. And I got completely weirdly isolated. And it was, I didn't like it. Like when I got back, I worked there before I left for Ghana when I was studying abroad. And then when I got back, I didn't go back to that job because it was just so isolating.
What broad did you study?
My own broad
There we
self
go.
now.
her privates.
My privates.
Yeah, speaking of privates, how's your boxing stuff going?
Really good.
Yeah,
I don't know
cool.
if I talked about this already. I don't think I had because last week you weren't here.
Okay. I did listen to the cast though. Good cast.
Nice,
Yeah,
thanks.
I enjoyed it.
Right on. We missed you.
Yeah.
It's
like,
again, it's the holiday thing, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
just could
Well,
not.
our mom, pointed out, because I talked to her and she listens to podcasts, she was like, you guys were so much more like quiet this week. Not quiet in loudness, but like more like subdued. And she's like, I wonder if it's because Rick wasn't there. And I was like, maybe.
Maybe.
I don't know.
She liked it. She just noticed a difference with Rick's not here, and I was like, man, I think we are a little more boisterous when there's more people.
I still enjoyed the cast. I mean, there was I didn't notice anything.
She wasn't meaning it in a critical way at all. She just was pointing out a difference.
Well, I'm sure if we had 4 people or different people, it would be a different chemistry. But I dig our chemistry.
Yeah, me too.
So.
It's good so far.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So boxing.
Yeah.
So I think this was last week. I went in, and I have recently invested in an array of colorful sweatbands.
Nice.
An array.
Yes, a rainbow, if you will, of sweatbands. Because I had,
Would you say you have a plethora
I would say I have a plethora.
Nice.
Would you say I have a
Is that
plethora?
word for the day? I don't know.
No, I have to wear sweatbands, and I'm the only person at the gym that wears them. But I sweat from my face so much.
Yeah. Oh,
and you're
big
in
time. Yeah.
gloves, And then I'm like blind because I can't wipe sweat out of my face.
Yeah.
So I had this sweatband I got from like a swag bag for a 5K that I ran, and it's white, and it was just like turning gray because I wore it so much and kept washing it with colored clothes and stuff.
Yeah.
And so anyway, so I went online and I was like, you know what? I just need like a ton of sweatbands, so I ordered a whole bunch.
Right.
And so then I had like my new sweatbands, and I was like, oh, like I put on like kind of, and I got winter workout pants.
Okay.
So I was looking good, right?
Nice.
This is the pretext of what happened. So I get in and I'm like, man, I'm looking great.
Do you have leg warmers?
I actually do have leg warmers, but they're like wool. I want to do dolphin shorts.
Some little flash dance. Yeah, nice.
Because if I'm going to be sweatband girl, I might as well just go hog wild.
Why limit yourself?
Exactly. So I got in, and my coach walks up and he was like, you're losing weight. And I was like, actually, I'm not. I just look really good today.
Nice.
Thank you. I'm getting a coffee boost. So I was like, no, I'm not. He's like, yeah, you are. And I was like, no, I promise you I'm not.
You might be.
But I'm off carbs. And yeah, my weight has stayed the same, but my body's definitely changing.
Well, it's all how your pants fit.
Right.
Yeah, you're pulling in.
And he was like, he pointed out all these muscle things, and then I had told him that I'm off carbs because I feel like with training, it's like it's a hindrance to not, like I need to just drop a little bit of weight because I'm trying to do stuff and I'm fighting against my weight.
Okay.
And so I was talking to him about it, and he was like, I'm just gonna pitch something to you, and he was like, I can change your entire body if you give me 1 year and you agree to work on the diet stuff. He's like, I guarantee I could have you like doing competitive powerlifting. I could have you, because the problem is there's no one for me to box, even if I lost all my weight, because I'm too strong and the women in the area are too much smaller than me. That he's like, even if I could get you in fighting weight, no one would fight you because you would like it's almost like an unfair fight. Because the women are so small.
You would outclass them.
Yeah, and
why
he's like,
fight
you're
other?
just
Would you
too
fight a dude
big.
if you could?
I
mean, I don't know.
See, I don't think they let you competitively.
Oh, yeah, I guess that would be weird.
Yeah.
I don't think about it. I wouldn't fight a woman
I could spar with a guy,
Yeah.
and that would be okay.
Put it up to Danny Bonaducci. He's in town.
Totally.
Oh, nice.
But
Yeah.
but like, and realistically, like fighting people, I would stress out so much
Yeah.
because even when I did the arm wrestling thing, that would give me like stomach pains
Really?
and stuff.
Well, you like the art of it,
Yeah.
and it's sort of like
It's fun,
Yeah,
and I don't.
the
if
training
I,
and the
if
work.
I felt like I was fighting someone for some kind of prize, I would start getting weird and competitive.
Huh,
And so
okay.
when we were talking about it, I was like, that's actually cool to me if there's no one for me to fight because I just like doing this for my own
Right.
stuff.
Right on.
And it like taking the competition out of it is kind of awesome. And he was like, well, but there's competitive weightlifting. There's
yeah.
like if there was a strong woman competition, he's like, I can turn you into a
Hey.
bodybuilder. And I was like, well, I don't know if I want to be a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
And then he was like,
Well.
but you could also lose 100 pounds, and then I can put
Well, okay,
an ad up with pictures of you and
there's-
promote
That'd be-
myself as a
before and
personal
after,
trainer.
yeah.
Bodybuilding is much different than powerlifting.
Right.
though.
Yeah, but he was-
Powerlifting is making the lift as easy as you can.
Right.
Bodybuilding is you're more getting the
is-
muscle tones
yeah,
and
for like looks and
right,
stuff.
right, yeah.
But he was just saying like those are options that
Oh,
we
sure.
could do, or like I want to try out more Seattle's women's professional football team.
Oh,
and he
yeah,
was like,
yeah.
I could probably do it right now.
Yeah, or
honestly.
roller derby.
Yeah, or roller
You're-
derby.
Yeah.
I fear
They got
roller
a
derby
big-
though because I don't
there's
want
a
to
big
get
presence
hurt.
there.
Oh.
And you get hurt a
Yeah.
lot in roller derby. I think
Okay.
football's actually safer than roller
Okay,
derby.
sure.
But
Is
anyway,
it tackle or flag?
Yeah.
tackle.
Nice.
And I have a friend at work that's on the team.
Okay.
And like, so I'm friends with them on Facebook,
Nice.
and I like
Cool,
look at
cool.
like I just kind of check the women out, and I'm like, if I dropped like 50 pounds, I would
Yeah.
be competitive.
I
And if
just-
I started running,
Yeah.
I could totally do it, and
You
it
know,
would be so fun.
From a distance, if you're looking at them like playing, they just look like just a smaller version
Yeah.
of a real football team.
Huh.
It's
Totally.
just
Yeah.
you know, it almost looks like watching junior high kids play
Huh,
football.
okay.
Yeah.
It's really cool, and
Interesting.
they have so much fun, and it's
Cool.
to me, I like the sporting side of exercise more
Oh
than
yeah.
the exercise
Yeah,
side.
because
And
it's so. Take the
I
boredom
know.
out of it,
Yeah.
you know, and.
Totally.
It's sort of one of the things I do like about UPS is it's work. I mean, it's not, you know,
Yeah.
we're getting stuff done and, you know, my body's responding and I'm burning calories. And I do sweat a lot from my head as well, which was
Isn't that funny?
not to, you know, kind of backtrack or anything,
It's
but
almost like we have
maybe I
similar
do.
genes.
Yeah, but I've noticed that it's like, wow, I'm really sweaty because I'll sweat like down my arms and down the front of my shirt and the back of my shirt.
Yeah.
Dry as heck underneath my pits. You know, I'm the
Weird.
same. I know. Yeah, it's
Same
like,
Oh my gosh, I am not, but I used to like be one of those people that just constantly sweats regardless of whether
Right.
I'm doing anything. And then I discovered Certain Dry, which is just straight antiperspirant.
oh
And
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
literally changed my life. I used to
Yeah.
be the person who, at any time, I would just have pit
The
stains,
stains.
and I'd always wear a black sweater over everything because then it'd hide the pit stains.
Yeah.
And now I do not sweat anymore. But it was
Cool.
a
Oh, yeah.
conscious. I killed my sweat glands in my armpits essentially.
Cool.
Yeah,
Which I am
overactive.
totally. I had major overactive
Yeah.
sweat glands in my pits.
Well, so I didn't mean to digress
No,
there.
I'm sorry.
So did you take him up on his offer
Oh,
then?
yeah.
or-
Cool.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The kitchen just opened.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, I'm in. Like I'm gonna do this
Cool.
for the next year anyway
Awesome.
because I love it and I love being here. And
Is he
this
going to up the price at all for
No,
what you're
no,
doing, or is he
no.
just being nice and
He just
really
was
likes
like,
you? And
yeah, we've been working
Cool.
together for like 4 months, and he's like, you work harder than any other person.
Oh, nice.
And
Awesome.
like part of that might just be him motivating me, but he's like.
Hmm.
He's like, if I let you would throw up every session because we work so
Right.
hard.
Nice.
And I was
Oh,
like,
cool.
well, cool. He's like, I see the potential of you really getting in crazy
he
good
likes your
shape.
ethic then.
Yeah, and
Okay,
I was like,
cool.
well, I love this. And
Cool.
so if you want to have a plan for me where, you know, and then we talked about how we're going to change. Like I'm supposed to add, right now I'm supposed to do, I'm building to 3 workouts a week, and I have like a workout schedule, and then I'm supposed to add running. And then we're going to move to hour-long lessons, and we have this
wow.
whole thing.
Huh.
And then my side of it is, I told him I would just give up carbs for a year.
Was he
So-
wanting to get involved with the diet aspect of it as well, or
A
is he
little
kind of
bit.
letting you
Well,
do that?
he feels like like he doesn't know enough about diet in general. He knows what works for him.
Yeah. Well, because diet is sort of a personal sort of journey.
Right.
I mean,
I told him not to worry about that side because I'm good at the dieting.
Cool.
Like I know what works for me, and like I know what my pitfalls are because I've lost 80 pounds like 5 different times in the last 10 years. My problem is that I don't continue it because I get frustrated.
It's hard to build it into the lifestyle rather than just do the maintenance or the corrective, I guess, procedures.
But if I'm training, then I feel like, to me, I think of like right now, dieting is easy. Because when I'm not eating carbs, I'm not eating carbs to lose weight.
Right.
I'm not eating carbs because I want to have a bomb workout and I'm excited about that. And I'm I need to eat well because if I give my body that fuel, I can go in and kick ass in the gym.
Right.
And to me, the psychology difference of that makes
a huge difference. Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm deprived because I'm excited about something, and it's not I'm trying to lose weight. It's I'm trying to be an athlete.
You're also tapping into your natural stored carbs as well. Yeah.
Well, the thing, I worked at GNC for a good couple years, and I guess what I found about the low carbness is your energy level goes down, but you don't. It sort of evens things out. It's like you don't feel lows, you don't feel highs, and you don't get tired as quick. But I found it really helped my exercise. It's like you had the more endurance.
Yes.
I guess that's what I'm looking for.
I haven't noticed my overall energy level go down.
Oh, okay.
But that evening is what, like,
it's like you don't get real hungry. You don't,
Totally.
Yeah.
And
except for after the workouts. So I mean, obviously.
That's where you want your protein.
Does he have you doing a protein supplement?
I'm doing it.
Good.
Yeah,
okay, good. Then right on.
But I just kind of added that in naturally. He's really like more focused on the actual workout.
Right.
Like he really doesn't know a ton. He actually recommended that I go to a nutritionist.
Okay.
But I've read so many books. I was like, I'm good. Like I got some low carb protein powder, and I do unsweetened almond coconut milk that's really low carb. Cool. And I do my own shakes before and after. And actually, those are my breakfasts too.
As long as you get protein after your workout, then you're fine. But that's the best optimal time to do it because your protein stores have been depleted, and your body's really looking for that L-glutamine specifically. But that's when you really want to rebuild. Is right after.
Totally. So that's what I'm doing with boxing now. And we took these really hilarious before pictures because he was like, "Look for a picture because, like, I'm serious. It's gonna be crazy awesome, and we're gonna like put you on the website and stuff as like the transformation." And so I went through he's like, "Look for ones right before you started working with me." And so I looked through my pictures. But I have no full body pictures, and I was like, I think I delete those because I don't like how I look, and so my pictures are all like waist up. They're all like, none of them are like what my body looks like. And so then in the gym, in my frumpy looking gym clothes, we took these really funny pictures where I was like, I'm gonna try to look a little sad.
Oh yeah, everybody, you got your before picture. You got to look like you just got like
punched in the face.
Yeah, totally.
I like smushed my chin up a little bit and like stuck my stomach out. They're really funny.
Like you just got your feelings hurt or something,
I just had a friend. He did the 90 Days Biggest Loser challenge for a gym out there.
Okay.
Is
it Body for Life? Is it one of those? Oh no, that's the 12-week.
Yeah.
It's from a gym called Vision Quest out where I live, and he basically he was my size, about 280 pounds or so.
Oh, okay.
And he looks like half, like somebody's literally split him in half.
Isn't that crazy?
The weird thing is his head's the same size.
Oh.
It's Jonah Hill syndrome.
Oh yeah.
He looks like a
I'm kind of afraid of that, but
I mean he lost. He did get smaller. You can see. What he needed to do though, because he had a goatee, he needed to shave that off. And it looks the same.
Well, and part of it too is your memory of the proportions that he used to have, and people get so used to that.
Yeah.
And
Well, I think
he was the same size in high school though. He's the same size guy. He doesn't have that high school weight you refer to. That's more
Tom Cruise, to bring him back into the mix here. in Ghost Protocol, if you look at him, he's got like a small body, but his head stayed the same size.
Totally.
It's like, look at Tom Cruise in like Top Gun, and he's a little buffer, you know.
Yeah,
His head's a little more proportion, but he leaned up a lot for Ghost Protocol. He's like this little, kind of
That's
stick
funny.
man with huge head. It's almost
and
comical.
he has like kind of big hair in that movie too.
Yeah.
Totally.
But,
I love Ghost Protocol.
but my issue with the big head, I mean, I have a big head. It's
I think you have a proportional
It
size
fits
head.
your body.
Well,
Yeah.
okay, but my shoulders and arms are getting bigger.
Yeah.
So my
So you're
shape
building
is
up.
going more from sort of belly back up to my shoulders.
And I wonder too if it's because you bring up your friend who lost a lot of weight in a short amount of time, and like I brought up Jonah Hill, who was a lap band guy.
Yeah.
And, or no, Jonah Hill didn't get lap band.
No,
he
he-
went on Atkins.
But you see, that's just
But
you gotta put muscle on.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
It's the rapid weight loss. You don't build the muscle
Yeah.
until you start looking
Right.
abnormal, like
Right.
Al Roker.
Yeah, exactly.
Where you have
Yeah.
a weird head.
Yeah, but if
And
you can
that's
put the
why-
muscle on, it's a
Yeah.
little more even distribution. You're not going to see a lot of
Right.
weight go down.
Right.
Yeah.
But again, it's how your pants fit. It's not how what the
Yeah.
scale says.
Yep.
And that's why, like, I mean, I don't like to really, like, my primary goal isn't losing 100 pounds, but my primary goal is getting, like, awesomely
Totally.
in shape
Oh,
and
yeah,
super
yeah.
ripped.
Yeah.
It'd be a
And
great
it's
side effect, though.
and it will be,
Yeah.
Sure.
because you can't do one
Yeah,
without the
no,
other.
and if anything, it's going to help it because you have more
Right.
muscle that will burn more calories when you do work out.
Right,
So.
which is why I liked that he told me a year, because
Oh,
I'm
yeah,
not
oh.
going to do any crazy,
Yes.
like, try to lose as
Yeah,
much weight
yeah.
as possible.
Heck
Because
no.
I know how to do that. There are a
Yeah.
couple of diets you can go on that, like,
Oh, yeah,
I would lose
yeah.
90 pounds in 6 months.
Yeah. So we're going to just take a little break and order some food and be right back. And we're back. We just ordered. So
Yeah. I'm excited.
Stuff.
I'm excited
Yeah.
to see what we get.
I
That's-
know.
yeah, they have a pretty interesting menu. So
Yeah.
a lot of kind of interesting new things to try. So
Totally.
my favorite still though was the hanger, that panini.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we'll see.
Nice. Yeah, that was really
Oh.
good.
What was that? That was the crepes.
Or the crepes.
Oh, was that crepes?
Yeah.
Excuse me.
The
Yeah,
crepes.
the crepe. Very good.
The
Yeah,
panini
yeah.
was at Zola's.
Could be.
So-
Yeah,
Zolas.
probably.
Oh,
They
that's
have a
right,
panini
yeah.
on their menu here, which is why I was thinking panini.
Yeah,
But
panini on the brain.
yeah.
Cool.
Speaking of panini, my other subject for the day, unless were we all done with what we were talking about?
Yeah, yeah.
Are we ready for
totally.
new
We're all
stuff?
done
Okay.
I could talk about boxing
So-
all day.
We're all
Right,
done
right.
talking about
Yeah.
Peggy's private.
So
My private. Oh,
yeah.
you-
Speaking of,
Oh,
okay.
go ahead. No,
can
I
we?
don't know if I already mentioned the button I made for my coach for Christmas.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
It says "Ask Me" in really big letters,
Yeah.
and then in small letters about my private,
Nice.
and then has a little clip art picture of
Huh.
boxing gloves hanging from a string.
Oh,
which
nice.
To me, kind of are vaguely reminiscent
Yeah.
of balls.
There we go.
And
Yeah.
so I
Yeah.
made myself one too, but I'm gonna
Nice.
give him one for Christmas.
Oh, fun. Does he get it when you say privates, or is he just very, just doesn't even phase him?
I don't think
Uh,
it phases him, but
yeah.
I
Nice.
think it's funny, and so
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
going. I think
Totally.
he'll get a kick out
Nice.
of it.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Anyway, go ahead.
Cool. Well, yeah. So speaking of panini and privates, so I was watching South Park, or I watched the final South Park finally last night,
Alright.
Nice.
and I guess what if I did have an agenda for the show today, it's to answer the question: why are penises so funny? Because
That's
they
from
are.
Lucas, from
And-
Butters' obsession with
Right.
the
Well, that
wieners
was the
on
whole
Game
sort of
Thrones.
undertone of this trilogy that South Park sort of pushed through. So if you, I mean, it's South Park,
So yeah, let's give the people.
yeah, okay.
a
I guess
little
here's
update on
let
what
me.
the
Okay, any
episodes
parents
are.
out there that your children are watching, you may want to stop it for them. And kids, you're gonna listen to it anyway. So
Yeah, they already teach
Kids
us.
already know penises are funny.
Right.
So
Oh, sure, sure.
It's the great
But, okay.
equalizer of life is that I think every culture thinks farts and penises are
yeah, well, there you
hilarious.
go. Okay, I understand the fart. Why that's funny. It's a funny noise. It's a funny stink. It's aha.
It's
It's
embarrassing.
embarrassing. It can be.
Yeah.
You gotta.
Yeah.
I get it. But why is? I mean, okay, I can strip in front of the mirror and do the or whatever. And it's not funny then. It's like okay, but
Isn't it?
but I think it's in the social context.
Are you
Okay,
alone?
all right.
Are you alone when
Yeah,
you do
that,
this? Okay.
no.
So who's all in the room when you're doing this?
No, I'm not saying that I do. I said I could hypothetically.
Oh,
So
okay.
the context of this is in South Park. Butters
Right.
is Butters starts watching Game of Thrones, which has a
Yeah.
lot of wieners in it.
Yeah,
and
he's
then
like,
he's trying to psychologically work out
why there's so many
like,
wieners.
what the wieners mean.
Yeah.
And like gay wieners, like
Right.
maybe
Because
ladies are less threatened by wieners.
Yeah,
Gay guys, and if
right,
he was a
right.
straight guy,
Yeah.
the ladies wouldn't want to watch the show, and so the wieners are always shown on the gay guys. And he's going through like working this like philosophy of Game of Thrones wieners out throughout these episodes.
Totally,
It's really
Well,
funny.
and then they go to the writer's place who writes the show, and he's just all about showing wieners.
Yeah.
And
He's like pitching them what's going to happen, and he's like describing like, then they go into the field, and his wiener blows in the wind, and like it's all about the wieners.
But they
really
do,
funny.
which one of my endearing qualities I love about South Park are the quotes, the quotables, they took our jobs, and and I think and this episode was the little, which was hilarious. But I guess so. What another thing that I think is really funny is from the Dewey Cox story, or Walk Hard, the Dewey Cox story, where he's doing an interview, and then there's this naked dude standing right next to him, and it just doesn't even. It's just like at this weird party. Do you remember this part?
I vaguely do. I only saw that movie
That I
once.
thought was just like one of the most funniest things I've ever seen in a movie.
Just
was
like
just
a
him,
nude dude?
just a nude dude standing right next to him, and it just and Dewey Cox was just still what's his name? Thomas something. I don't
John
know.
C. Reilly.
John C. Reilly. Yeah.
Who, man, John C. Reilly peaked in terms of like all aspects because he has only gotten weirder looking.
Well, have you seen Check It Out?
No,
Oh, that's
God.
so funny. Oh,
Is it a movie?
it's sort of like this low budget 80s TV show ripoff thing where he has like he plays this kooky dude and he's just this really
it an
almost
Adult Swim
random.
thing?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Very much
I
so.
have seen him on Tim and Eric's awesome
Yes.
show. Good job.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he's
It's
really
awesome.
awkward. and so I wondered,
if you like the
John
awkward,
C.
weird,
Reilly
what
seems
the
to-
hell? I mean,
I do like
but it's
that.
totally like low budget graphics and
Oh, yeah, cool.
it's fun.
That's really cool.
Yeah, Check It Out is what
It's
it's
called
called. You
Check
should
It
you should
I will
check it out.
Check it out.
I
Yeah.
wonder,
So
like-
okay,
okay,
why
sorry,
does the
so
male
why-
genitalia bring the funny?
Especially like I think there's nothing funnier than
Yeah.
people who just draw dicks on things. Like
Right.
like if you see graffiti and it's like a cock and
Yeah.
balls,
Oh,
that's
oh.
hilarious to
Yeah,
me.
and that's
what was
the
that?
go-to when somebody
Uh-huh.
passes out at the
Yeah,
party.
hot-
You draw a giant cock on his face.
What was that movie that Big Shot or
Are you
the
talking Superbad?
Superbad?
Where
Thank
the
you. Yeah,
kid
yeah.
is obsessed
That's
with drawing
exactly.
cartoon dicks.
For
Yeah.
the
Which
entire
is,
fifth
like,
grade,
so
the fifth
funny to
grade.
me.
Totally. Yeah.
Well, that particularly, I
is it
think
the
is
emasculation of it? It's sort
No.
of like okay, you know,
it
you're not.
depends because the Superbad bit to me is funny because boys of that age are so dick obsessed.
Sure.
That like
Well,
he's
Yeah.
this is this crazy thing, but it's like he's manifesting what we imagine all boys at that age are
Okay,
doing,
right,
which is
right.
just being completely obsessed
Huh.
with dicks.
I just like the whole montage at the end of the movie.
Oh,
when they're
totally.
running through.
Right.
That
Where
the
it's
Jaws,
like
the
the
Star
dick with
Wars.
right.
guns, like super big muscle arms. And
Yeah.
it's like, why does the dick have arms? But
Yeah.
I think it's funny
Huh.
for different reasons. Or like getting kicked in the nuts is always funny.
Right.
But
Well-
like that's because it's like
That's almost like someone slips
Like
and
a jackass
falls, and
thing.
you know
Yeah.
how.
Yeah.
Yeah.
totally.
Yeah, that's not really just the display of it,
Uh-huh.
for blowing in the wind kind of stuff. or-
Because pictures of vaginas aren't funny.
yeah, exactly. Okay, so show. I mean,
Not at all
but
funny.
I like
no, I don't.
Except I think they're funny when things look like vaginas that aren't intended to look
Right,
like
right,
vaginas.
like sort of the sideways grilled cheese
Like, I
sandwich
saw-
or something. But like, no,
I saw
sorry.
a woman wearing a coat that was like a leather coat. It
That was a
like
Sam Kinison joke.
Yeah, I know. It was like like an artisan jacket
Oh, right,
with
right, right.
rosettes all over
Oh,
it.
okay, right.
But the roses were kind of smushed.
Huh.
And I was sitting with some of the ladies from the women's chorus who I think always appreciate a good vagina joke. And I was
Huh.
like, check out that jacket. Looks like a bunch of vaginas.
Georgia O'Keeffe a little
and then
bit there,
we
kind of.
like busted up laughing and we couldn't stop staring because they really did kind of look vaginal. Because they were like rosettes, like silk roses smushed.
Yeah.
I like.
They totally look.
As I've been watching the Misfits,
Oh,
I've been
thank you.
learning that
Oh,
the
I love the Misfits.
Growing
I
up-
haven't
growing
caught
up-
them yet.
Oh,
Sorry.
growing
check
up,
it out.
I always thought as a fanny as being your rear
Oh
end.
no, it's vagina.
Yeah, and I was
Huh.
like, he's got a fanny. I'm like,
Ah.
what's a fanny?
Huh.
I thought everybody has a fanny.
Yeah.
No, they
Okay,
don't.
good.
Yeah, it's a British
Yeah.
term for
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, okay, so could it be all right? You see naked women there's arousal for me. I know I can only speak from my own experience, but you know, and is it the antithesis of that? It's like, okay, there's genitalia, I can't be aroused, so all I can do is laugh.
Maybe, and I wonder then if there's a gender difference of why women think it's funny versus why men think it's funny.
My wife doesn't think it's funny. Like
if
when
someone draws a dick and balls, Alex doesn't think
she
it's
doesn't.
funny?
Not really. She doesn't. I mean, like when we watched Walk Hard, it was like I could not stop laughing when they had the C. Thomas Howell next to the dick thing, and she just was like, I don't know, she couldn't.
And Step Brothers.
Oh, yeah.
This is awesome.
Oh, yeah.
Will Ferrell.
Yeah, both of them.
Putting his nuts on the drum set.
Right. Oh, yeah.
That was the best.
Yeah,
totally.
He did
Yeah.
really like,
And any teabag reference, you know, you remember
that's
that's
hilarious. Well, I think that dicks are funny because men are so obsessed with them.
Okay.
And so to me, when I
sort
see
of a call
stuff
to-
like that, I am like they're so into and like, okay, so a really good example of this is on the Daily Show after the Anthony Weiner thing.
Yeah.
Oh, food's here, yay! And we're on.
Okay, we're back.
Yay. So I was just about to say, my best example of a good thing of this is after the Anthony Weiner thing.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
On the Jon Stewart show, Kristen Schaal, who I think is one of the best female comics out there, she did a little sketch about how men think women want to see dicks and women do not ever want to see dicks. And it was so perfect because she was like,
Is she blonde?
kind of light brown blonde, like dishwater blonde, I'd say.
Does she have her own show?
She was on Flight of the Conchords. She was the fan on Flight of the Conchords.
Okay. Yep. Bingo. Meg.
Yeah, Meg.
Say no more.
Yeah, totally. I'm like, I knew you would know her from
Oh,
that.
heck yeah.
So she does this whole thing about like how
Thank you.
men are always wanting to show it to women and women don't want to see it. And it was so funny to me because that's why I think it's funny because guys are like, hey, look at this thing.
It's
And
sort of
most
that-
women
that-
are like, I don't want to look at that.
Sort of like the
get it out of my
gotcha
face.
sort of thing.
What's the gotcha?
Gotcha, like if you're chewing your food and you open it up in front of somebody and
Yeah,
Okay.
totally.
Huh.
And so to me, it's that cat and mouse thing where men are super impressed by it. Women are like women think about it so much differently than men think about it.
Okay.
But men are so into like porn is for men and has tons of dicks in it.
Sure.
And so it's like even though there's not like a necessarily a homosexual element of it,
Right.
men are so penis centric.
Huh.
You know? And
Yeah.
as a woman, it's funny because like it just seems ridiculous because we're not that excited about it.
Yeah.
I mean, they're fine.
Was it
But,
Ron
like,
White
the
that did a
things
bit
I-
about that?
Oh, probably, yeah.
Where he's like,
man.
I'll bet you're gay and you don't know it. It's like when you watch your porn, do you like big raging dicks or small little limp dicks? I like big raging dicks. Whoa, you know. So it's like
That did sound weird.
That's funny.
yeah.
But it's so like, I mean, women obviously like, there's an element of that, but it's like that's not the focus. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just so funny to me the difference, and so I think it's different reasons why women think dicks are funny than why men think dicks are funny.
Yeah, but see, women don't see them and get aroused. Though.
Right.
They aren't like, oh no, I need to see
things
more.
I think that are attractive
'Cause-
about men have nothing to do with the wiener. I mean, at a certain level it does, but like where I see a dude and go, hey, that's a good looking dude. It's shoulders, it's you know, jaw lines, it's hands. Like there's sexy things about men, and I'm not looking at his junk.
Right.
Going,
My aunt said it's forearms for her. She's like a
forearms are
forearm.
super sexy.
Yeah. I was
But
like,
that's
really?
why, like,
Go find some screen printers.
oh really?
Well, they're
Oh, yeah.
not if they're manual screen printers, because
Yeah,
they're
they're
doing the
working the thing all the
yeah,
time.
totally.
Well,
They're
like
using a lot of wrist action.
the movie that just came out, the Hunger Games.
Yeah.
Everyone was making like there was this really funny Onion video where because there's two boys in the Hunger Games and one of them is kind of a weenie and the other one is the guy who plays Thor's brother who's like 6'4" Australian chiseled jaw hunk. And so it's like the love triangle is this kind of wimpy guy with this like uber god, and so people are making jokes about how like there's no contest. But I think the kind of wimpy one is a little like I'm like no, there's something with him. He's got these hands, like you look at his hands, they're all like and he's got this jaw thing, and I was like, this is men women making jokes about it because they don't get why the other one is actually pretty hot. And that makes me kind of pedophile because they're, supposed to be 16-year-old boys. But the actors I checked
I don't think
are over
women
18.
could be pedophiles. I'm sorry.
Oh, they totally can.
Talk to any.
You're okay. Washington State says
know.
16 and above. So
Oh no, they're totally legal, so I can say it. I checked.
Right.
No, but a lot of women do molest young boys. Like there are women pedophiles.
I
I
guess
can say
Mary
pedophile because I've been watching Misfits.
Well, you can't.
And they make pedophile jokes.
I guess
Pedophile.
Pedophile. Nice.
You totally can be.
Well, okay.
You totally can be.
Yeah.
Because it's more about like molestation and I mean it's a different style of pedophilia than men, but I think that's it's very underreported because boys are less likely to report molestation, especially by women.
Like how do you rape the willing? I guess is my
right. But if the boy is like 10,
well,
how
okay, all right,
can
yeah,
you
there.
be?
Okay, I guess there is an age limit there, but
totally.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Sure. Yeah, but you, I don't know. I guess.
I understand the subtext of what you're saying.
It just ran into an awkward moment.
Yeah.
It's okay.
Okay. What now? So.
Sorry. Go ahead, Rick.
Yeah, I guess looking at the sort of agenda itinerary here. Did you have a restaurant recommendation?
I do, totally.
Okay.
So last night, as I was saying, my friend Rachel's sister Hannah was in town, and so we went to a place called the Whale Winds up in Fremont.
Okay.
Yeah,
wow.
Fremont. I was going to say Ballard, but there's actually the person who opened the restaurant has another restaurant called the Whale and the Carpenter, or the Walrus and the Carpenter. Which is in Ballard, which has like been around for a while.
Forever.
Yeah, and her new restaurant is the Whale Winds, which is in Fremont, and it was really, really good and okay priced, like a little spendy, but not. I mean, there were 4 of us, and we had cocktails and stuff, and it was probably like $120 on the tab at the end,
That's
which
not bad
for cocktails and 4 people is like a little more than like a casual dining, but not crazy.
Right.
So like about $12 a plate kind of thing.
And we got it's kind of family style, and so we ordered like we got this baked clam or roasted clams thing that was like amazing, it was like a big thing of it, so we were all eating off of it, and that was probably like $25.
Okay.
The most expensive thing was a 32-ounce steak that is meant to be shared, but it's like a giant cut. That was like $50.
Okay.
And so, you can go on the cheaper end or on the more expensive end.
Cool.
But really, really well done food and like kind of strange. Like we got pickled vegetables as our like starter.
Okay.
And it was this big plate of like pink pickled vegetables, but it was like sweet and spicy. Like there were pickled peppers in it, and it was like really, really good.
Cool.
And it's just like interesting food, and they have like the ambiance is really pretty.
Okay.
But the thing with it is you can't make reservations, so you have to show up right at 5:30. And we got there a little bit before they opened, and we got in like 20 minutes, and then we were like overhearing people who got there at like 6 o'clock, who were being told there was like a 2-hour wait. And so if you want to go to this place, you got to get there.
A lot of seats available then?
There are, but because they aren't taking reservations and they're new, you got to get there early.
Okay.
And it took us like 3 hours to eat because it's very slow. I mean, they're preparing the food in front of you on these big ovens. And so we just ordered a whole bunch of stuff, and we weren't even really stalling. We were just eating at their pace. And we sat down at like 5:45, and we left at like 8:30.
Oh, cool. That
so
sounds like a good time.
it's like an evening.
Nice.
And they have really good cocktails. They had, if you sit near the ovens, it's an open kitchen, so you can watch them preparing the food.
Oh, cool.
So I was thinking Alex might really like it as like a special thing because it's really a cute place. And Rick's wife is really into cooking.
Yeah. What was the place called again?
The Whale Winds.
Whale Winds.
And weirdly enough, it shares a building with a skate park. And it has an open ceiling, and the walls come up about halfway. So you can like you can like hear and see like things going on in the skate park. It's really
nice.
weird.
An indoor skate park?
Yeah, it's an indoor skate park in Fremont.
Okay.
Which actually I was like, that might be kind of fun to go check out.
Huh.
And they have art in there, and then like skate shop, and then there's a skate park.
It makes good sense because of the weather in Washington isn't really conducive to outdoor skating.
It's
and these days it's been cold.
I know.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah. Oh, and then I think it's because it's been sunny is why it's been so cold.
Yeah, clear and cold.
Kind of that greenhouse effect sort of thing. We get pretty heavy. That's just something I've noticed.
Yeah.
It's like if there's not a lot of cloud cover,
sunny.
it will get witch's tit cold.
Yeah.
You know? But if there's cloud cover, then it sort of traps the heat that rebounds from the ground.
But it's a dry cold, so it doesn't feel.
Yeah, it's a dry cold.
That doesn't work. Dry cold.
It's cold.
It's cold.
Yeah.
Well, and my problem is I have winter wear. I have hardcore
Oh
winter
yeah,
wear.
you're a Chicagoan. It's kind of
But everything inside is so warm
Oh,
that like
yeah.
a couple days this week I was like, bring it on. It's gonna be 15 degrees. You know,
Yeah.
I'm doing long johns. I'm doing sweaters. I'm doing big coat. And then I got really hot, and then I go outside and I was colder because I was too hot inside.
Yeah.
And so it's finding that balance. And
what did you do in Chicago?
I
Was
did
it the
everything.
same?
Well, like the inside wasn't that hot, and it was so cold that like
Okay.
you could get away with wearing the big coats.
Right.
But like I even got hot outside from wearing too much because it traps in your body heat.
Right.
And then I was getting like sweaty and then cold, and it was like a total mess.
Oh, no.
So mine, and I haven't even busted out my heaviest coat because it's not cold enough for that. But I do have a giant. It goes down to like mid thigh, so it covers up your bits, which makes a big difference.
Yeah.
If you want to get warm, you just pull your coat down over your jump.
Okay.
And that, for some reason, just like really does a good job, and it's down, so that's
That
nice.
helps. That helps.
It's just a big old down coat. So
How do you
warm.
get down off a duck?
I don't know.
You get down off an elephant. All right. That was like
good one.
elementary school there. Sorry,
I knew
couldn't
it
help
was,
it.
I knew it was getting off of it somewhere.
Yeah.
Nice.
Right on. So how's everybody's holiday shopping going?
I think I'm done.
Yeah?
I
Right
mean,
on.
I'm mostly making presents this year, which not that I don't ever any other year because I usually make a lot of things. So I think I started a while ago. So now it's just a matter of assembling things.
Nice. Cool.
So for me, I'm good.
We pretty much are on the fly. Like last night, we went to a Christmas party, and we just bought for that particular event, and that was pretty neat actually. It was our Mustang Club had a Christmas party. It segued
cool.
into that.
Nice. Did you have to buy Mustang-related gifts then?
You know what?
or-
It was a lot like that. It was
Yeah.
like I just went to Ross and bought a car wash kit
Oh, cool.
because that you need that. They wear out. They don't last
Oh,
forever.
yeah.
But it was the white.
Like white elephant?
Yeah.
I love those.
Oh, okay.
Well,
I have one coming up for work. Only
This-
ours is lame because there's only like 10 people.
we had
So
24 people.
Yeah, those are when it's
Wow.
fun, when you really
It
get
was
into
like-
stealing presents.
The
and
hot
stuff.
item
I love
were
that.
shop vacs. Somebody brought
Oh,
shop vacs. There was
nice.
like 3 shop vacs, and those things were just
Heck
getting.
yeah.
The poor
I could
people
use a shop vac.
until the final round. I mean, it's almost like you didn't want to steal it because it would
What's
get
coming
stolen
up?
the next
Yeah,
round.
yeah,
It's like-
yeah.
And I ended up. Well, thanks to my wife, the gift I got was a bottle of wine, and that wasn't actually the gift. It was the stopper that came with it.
Oh, wow.
On top, it had the 5-speed gear shift
Oh,
pattern.
wow.
So it was
That's
really
cool.
cool.
Oh, cool.
I was kind
Wow.
of like sitting over to the side, just kind of quietly not paying attention to it, so nobody really.
Oh, so
and-
this wasn't what you brought. This
No,
is what you picked.
this is what I
okay.
picked.
What did you
Okay.
bring? Oh, you
The
said car wash kit.
car wash kit.
Okay. Sorry, I got
And then
confused.
she brought, Kenita brought some woman stuff. Like it had like,
woman stuff.
yeah, it was like
One of them,
jasmine
you know,
perfume,
those-
Like a
body
vagina
wash.
thing, or
Yeah.
some,
Yeah.
lady parts.
Yeah.
Woman stuff.
Oh.
Something that was pretty much
that stuff.
the smell
Bed
good
Bath
stuff.
Beyond.
smelling goods for ladies.
You had to cover up smells. But she brought that, and it was pretty much it actually amazingly got stole once from somebody.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So it was a pretty heavily car orientated.
Yeah, totally.
So
I rely though on Christmas for my bath stuff. I never buy any for myself because there's always something I get at Christmas, and then I'm good. And so if I ever had to buy my own bath stuff, I think I'd be a little bummed.
Yeah, those loofahs usually last pretty much for a year, and then you're ready for a new one.
Yeah, and there's always, some kind of something where somebody, like a baby shower or something where like the party favors are little bath things, and it's almost like, I don't know, I feel like I should just get those regularly enough that I don't need to buy my own. I'm talking like bubble bath and stuff, not like soap. I'll buy my own soap.
The Epsom salts
totally.
and the fragrancy stuffs and the
it was pretty cool. It was
soaps.
Exactly.
I made there's a guy that is in our club. He plays in a bluegrass band. He's actually inviting us out to it's a bar / cafe in Kent called Red's Cafe.
Okay.
But he only plays Thursday nights. And I'm like, well, I'd say I'd bring it up to the group. Yeah.
Make it up. I love bluegrass.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Bluegrass is the dichotomy for me where I don't like country music, but if it has a bluegrass feel, I love it. Like banjos are so cool.
That's
like
do you know who
oh my gosh,
Bella Fleck? Have you heard of him?
Yes.
Yeah, he's good.
He's really good. I thought that was, for some reason I didn't know that was a man.
Yeah, well, Bella Fleck and the Flecktones.
Yeah, I didn't realize that, but I have.
He has this documentary where he goes around the world with his banjo and he plays with other countries. He kind of jumps into their musicians and plays along with them because it's sort of like this musical language that it's like they play and he knows music, so he can just pick up and get right in with them. But it's with the banjo. I don't know, but it's Bella Fleck. Yeah,
okay, I'll look it up.
Yeah, it's really good.
I love bluegrass.
I like bluegrass
so
too. I really don't like country music.
Me neither. That's the weird thing.
Well,
but
because
I like
it's diluted pop
music.
nowadays.
I like folk rock. I like bluegrass.
I think that's what it is. It's a more folksy.
I like Western music, like from the '70s,
like what you
Kenny
hear
Rogers,
at
Dolly
like Roy's
Parton.
Western Smorgy playing.
Yeah.
But I don't like modern country, and it's weird because I like all of the roots of it.
Like Johnny Cash.
But I love Johnny Cash. I love Loretta Lynn.
To me,
like
Johnny
all those
Cash
old
isn't
Western
really country
singers.
to me. I know it is. It's
They didn't call it country back then.
Western.
He was Western. It was rock and roll.
Was it Hank
Western
Williams
rock.
then, or like the
Hank
older
Williams
Hank
was like
Williams?
early country, but he was kind of a bridge person.
Okay.
That twangy stuff I really can't.
I know, and even like modern stuff that's like roots folk. I love that kind of stuff. Like I'm trying to like Alabama. Well, that's like blues. Alabama.
You're talking to the wrong cat here.
That singer who does they do blues music.
Oh, I know.
Love it.
It's a black girl.
Yeah, who has like a crazy mouth. I'll put an Alabama Shake. That's what
Alabama
it's called.
Shake.
She man, I love her.
She's like only 20-something years old.
She has a crazy, awesome voice too. She's really good, and her band just like kicks ass.
Yeah, I don't. That to me is also. Yeah,
it's a really neat time for music, I think, in general. It's sort of like with food. It's like everything's kind of getting into everything else, and just a lot of crossovers and pollinations and
fusions.
Yeah, well, and it's a lot more open. I mean, there's more artists, there's way more competition, there's way more access.
Yeah,
totally.
It's if you love music, it's a good time to be alive. That's for sure. So.
Totally.
Oh, we also had a DJ at our party. The guy's from Brazil. He's from Brazil. He's also in the Mustang Club.
Oh, nice.
And he's from Brazil.
He's from Brazil. He's a DJ, and he's in a Mustang Club.
Yes,
and makes me like him. He's a dichotomy.
His name's Luis.
Luis.
Luiz.
Yeah, I know Luis from. I think he's from Brazil.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brazil. Anyway,
I know Luis from Mexico.
He was showing me this thing on his wrist. I actually showed my wife. It's a Nike energy band. What's it called?
Oh yeah, they're kind of like sorry, go ahead. They're like
pacemaker kind of things.
No, they're the fitness trackers, right?
Right,
I saw an ad for them.
Right, and they have these LED lights, and if you don't hit your fitness goal, and he said he doesn't exercise at all, and he's lost like 50 pounds just wearing.
Just by paying attention.
Yeah. You plug it into your laptop, and it shows you your activity, how many calories you burned per day.
Yeah, I have something really similar, but it's not in a wristband form. It's my Fitbit, which gives me all of my metrics.
They should do that and a serial drive or a flash drive. Is that a flash
It's sort
drive?
of this dongle
Yeah.
on my
Oh,
computer
okay.
is the link up, and so whenever I sync it, it gives me all these tracking things,
Right.
and it gives me like a million different metrics that I can get from it.
You guys want anything else?
I think I'm good.
I think
Yeah.
we're good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's just gonna take space.
Totally.
Yeah.
Well, and we are running a little bit low on time, so
All right.
I do want to
Yeah.
just really quick give a plug for next week. Next week we're going to do, since we're doing this little rotating host thing, it's Peggy's week.
Yeah.
So of course it's all movies. Woohoo!
Yeah.
And what we're actually going to do, I'm going to try something a little bit new, which I hope people like. We are going to watch trailers from movies that are opening this month that I'm excited about and discuss them. And so on the podcast, you'll be able to hear a little bit of the audio from the trailers and get our thoughts
Sure.
about it, and so you'll get to know what movies are coming up that maybe you should catch or avoid depending on your interests. And of course, we'll just talk about life and all this good stuff.
Right. Yeah.
So-
And we didn't get to touch on.
Yeah.
We were going to touch on.
Atheist Christmas,
Ace-
and I think
yeah.
we'll talk about that next week, and we'll
Sure.
because I have a lot of thoughts about
Yeah.
Christmas is coming up and what that means for people and how you celebrate depending on your religious beliefs or lack thereof.
Lacter, yeah.
So
Totally. Yeah,
if you have, go ahead.
I was actually trying to segue into that, but it looks like time-wise,
yeah,
we
we're
probably
we're
are
at the hour mark.
at the hour
so
mark. So
we'll save it for next week.
save it for the next cast, I guess. Okay.
Great.
Well, thanks for listening, guys. This has been Rick Entrop
Scott Clark.
And Peggy Hurson.
from the podcast. Thanks for listening. Bye.